saw your Instagram post, and you were like, "It's not what it sounds like." When you said you were coming on, I was like, "No, it's exactly what it sounds like."
Well, I have a friend that's like calls me a daddy, and I'm like, I'm not a daddy yet. He's like, you're so a daddy, and I'm like, well, you're gonna love this episode.
I believe we what was it? We went on the one podcast and they said, "What are these zaddies doing?"
Yeah, so like, I don't know why people think that. I mean, I understand like daddies, but
There's an
like
implication.
people think that like some people think that it's like this like sexual podcast, and it's really not.
There's plenty of other sexual daddies podcasts.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
just
whatever
not one
brings
of
them
those.
in, whatever
Yeah.
brings the listeners. If you're here, don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
we've
It might be
advertised.
sexual. You'll have to wait and find out.
We've advertised our OnlyFans plenty of times.
Yeah, right. That's how we tried to bring people in.
I actually just had I don't know if you guys know this, and I haven't seen it yet, but there's a What Would You Do episode. I've been on the show for like 10 years, and it's about me trying to convince my wife to start an OnlyFans page and sell her feet online. And I'm like, we can't even afford this haircut. Like, we have to do this. And it's really great. So
It'll pay for it. I know a girl that sells, I think she just sells panties. Oh, what is it? But it's on like footfinder.com. You can do it from other sites. And then she had guys that came up to her and they approached her for like fluids. And I think that's like not allowed on that site. So, give that a try.
So there's a line.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Like
they draw the line at sending fluids in the mail, maybe.
I love the meme, and it's like me getting ready for work, and the dude's like putting on clown makeup. It's like while someone's making, $100,000 a month selling foot pictures and, and panties on the internet.
Greg, you started. I don't know if you said this.
I did. Okay.
But you started a foot fight.
All right. Look.
Greg is not the girl that I knew that started a foot fight.
How'd it go, Greg?
Okay. All right. So
wait, has the show begun?
Yeah,
this is
it
great.
began.
Oh, you guys are
we're
awesome.
in there.
Oh, this is so fun. All right.
All right. So about 3.5 years ago, I shaved my legs and I took pictures and I uploaded them to Feet Finder trying to, make money. I made $0. I actually lost money because you have to pay $5 a month to sell them. And it's such a saturated...
did they charge you because you shaved your legs? Because you actually needed... The hair would have been a bonus, but
maybe, right? Like, and so it's such a saturated market, and there's like the top 1%ers on there, and then the rest are just a bunch of.
You should have gone for Hobbit feet.
1%er has a whole different meaning on the foot finder.
On the
top one,
on the Feet Finder, but some people make a lot of money doing that, and it hurts my feelings because I made $0. So,
well, I think it's like anything else. You can't just like dip your toes in, pun intended. You actually got to commit. I hear now it's like, because we did some research after we filmed this episode that it's like a game. It's like, you got to work the system and play the hit the algorithms or just find the right person.
And I think that's what it is. It's just like you get one person, and then that person turns to two people, and then it just keeps growing and growing and growing. But it wasn't for me.
You got tired of shaving your legs,
and then we started a podcast.
This is not where I thought this was gonna go next. This is already so much better.
Yeah. So this podcast was the spiritual successor to Greg's Foot Finder.
My Foot Finder, and so here we are.
Everybody has spiritual transformation in a different way, and that was your journey.
Before we talk about serious shit, I have to complain. I have to bitch about something, and I don't know if anyone feels this way, but this just happened to me. So, got something delivered from Amazon, and they didn't put it in a box or like bubble mailer.
Oh, like they put them out there. They just deliver.
They
your
just tagged it and threw it at the front door. Like, is that acceptable?
What was it? It depends on what it is.
I mean, it was some like diaper bags.
Huh.
But still, like,
I've had the opposite problem. I have like 6 boxes for like some toothpaste. And then last week, this guy delivered about 15 hard drives that I don't even know what they go to. I wonder if I have like top secret files on my front porch. But they were like, I tried to send them back and they were like, yeah, you can just have them. And I'm like, I don't want them. It's like 60
Take 'em
pounds
back.
of software. I don't even know where this came from.
Wait,
they
that's
be-
actually an expensive fuck
Could
up.
they be useful?
I don't
Like,
know yet.
could you use them?
I guess I'll have to find out, like upload a picture to ChatGPT and be like, what is this?
Yes.
Plug it in and hope that you don't get the feds showing up at your door. You know?
We got him.
I mean, it was a suspicious package. Then after a month, we were like, okay, maybe we should call somebody.
But it's wild because like that goes to show how much money that they make, where it's like sometimes they tell you to send it back and sometimes they're just like, you can just have it. That's fine.
They're going to eat that loss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it like, so I had I had a guitar pedal delivered and it was like $600 and I ordered that and something else. And the other thing was like $10. And they forgot that part of it. And I messaged them and I said, yo, like, I got this, but I'm missing that. And they said, okay, we'll resend it. They resent the guitar pedal and then refunded it. So then I had 2 Line 6, the Helix stomps, and I didn't have to pay for them. But now, whenever I order something, I have to give a verbal like 6-digit code to the driver if it's over X amount of dollars.
They recognized you as a scammer.
And I did it. Like it wasn't
It really wasn't
intentional,
me.
but now I'm blacklisted from Ben, welcome. Thank you for joining us, man.
It's great to be here.
I appreciate you taking the time
tonight.
I I think growing up in I'm a 90s kid, Eric's a late 80s kid, but you were on our TV all the time in the early 2000s?
Yeah, like it or not, I was there 24/7.
You were the Dell guy, man.
Yeah,
I was the Dell Dude.
You were the Dell Dude. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what?
Turns out there's a Dell guy in England who is popular around the same time. Older character, different, no relation to Dell computers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but fun fact.
No relation to Dell computers. How was he a Dell guy?
Is different kind of brand in a different country that had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with Dell?
Well, I moved to New York City to pursue acting at NYU. I got an acting scholarship. I was a kid from Tennessee that knew he wanted to get out and experience something. And everyone told me, if you actually want to take this seriously, go to New York. And I got in to the school of my dreams. And then I was like, oh, shit, it's going to take a long time to make it. So I think my sophomore, after my sophomore year, I spent the summer in New York City just hustling and like old school black and white headshots into offices, and something worked and I eventually booked something. And then this friend of mine in business school was like, yo, I got this agent, I'm going on auditions. I was like, you're in business, I'm the actor in this relationship, like hook me up. So he hooked me up with his friend's mom, Renata English of Friendly Faces Management in Monmouth Beach, New Jersey. And she sent me on a couple background things just to see if I'd show up. And then I did. And then she sent me on a few other commercials. And I'd say within 1 or 2 months of our relationship, one of the commercials she sent me on was for Dell Computers. And they were looking for a kid 12 to 17 years old, and I was like 19 going on 20. And so I was the only guy there without my mom at the audition because everyone else had a legal guardian.
Right.
And they were all ages, all sizes, shapes, colors. Like clearly they didn't know what they want. So I just brought like I knew how to manipulate my parents as a kid. Like I was resourceful and like I'd have garage. I was scrappy. I was like, I had home videos. Like I knew how to do this. And so it was like perfect. I just did me, and they were like, it was awesome. It was all the way down. And then it got so big, we had no idea. And I was still trying to go to college. I wasn't watching TV at all. So I think it was bigger than anyone knew it would be, including Dell, because it was the first time they used an actor in the commercials. And it was right for the holidays. It was the first time. And this was when they were going from corporate only, which they had been, like business, to right to consumer. So first time to come to your home, and they could, I guess, customize something. Like Michael Dell started. Anyway, I got to meet him. I got flown around, and 20 years later, they brought me back. So I actually did a campaign on their Instagram social media like 2 years ago.
Oh shit.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remembered like those commercials were on all the time, like Nickelodeon. I mean, that's pretty much all I watched was Nickelodeon. But like, dude, they were always on, and but did Dell like see a increase from this? Like, did sales like
Oh
start
yeah.
to like
Oh, Dell makes so
skyrocket?
much money. People thanked me forever. I still kick myself to not having stock in them then. I have some now, but like, whoa,
Sure.
that was a big mistake. We tried to get stock options and they're like, he's just an actor. They're like, no, he's the entire face. And everywhere he goes, people go, dude, you're getting a doll. Like it was just, I became a walking commercial. But what I didn't know is people really needed that at that time. And it was like around 9/11 and I was living in ground zero and I was going through a whole nother set of stuff and I was not in that headspace. But apparently it helped a lot of people that I had some fun fans, anywhere from teenage girls to dudes like you to grandmas. And apparently like a few like daddy chat rooms, like gay men over 40 for Steven. And I met Jared the Subway guy around that time, but
Oh,
nothing
Wow.
weird that
Okay.
night. Nothing weird. He was on stage with Triumph the Insult Dog. That was the weirdest
okay.
part.
Okay.
But
All right.
Well, you were over 18 at the time, so
yeah, this was
he wasn't interested.
right. I was safe.
Yes.
This is before anyone knew.
Right. That's funny. We actually just talked about the pre-people knowing things last
Ooh,
week. Last week,
yeah.
I don't want to beat it like a dead horse, but Greg's got a choice tattoo on his butt cheek of Bill Cosby on his
Nice.
butt cheek. But
And I got it right before.
Oh, I think I
like,
saw
it's
one
like
of your
right
reels
before.
on that. I
oh,
was
you
like,
know
why are
what?
they
I don't
talking
think that
about
any
Bill
of us should
Cosby?
be.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah, none of us should be blamed or accosted for the things that we did before we knew it was not okay.
many of us were raised by his good side, which is the completely fake manifested for TV. And that side was pretty good.
Yeah,
That side
right.
worked for us.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
I just did it because I thought it was funny, and this was before we knew.
Yeah, I think you'd be canceled for that in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah, if that was fresh
Oh,
ink.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Done.
Daddy's
I
a
mean, I don't know
podcast,
how they'd know really, but you've told them.
I told
told
him.
the
Well,
internet.
Eric told
That's
him.
it. I told him, and I'm
He
gonna
blew
keep
that
telling him.
whistle. Yeah,
Actually, I might just say every episode, just bring it up.
just at some point.
Yeah, I know we're talking about like McDonald's, but I just want to get something out of the way. Greg's
Yeah.
butt
Let's see how
tattoo.
long it takes to
Oh
cancel
my
Greg.
God, I feel like we should be passing around a bong right now.
Yeah,
Are you guys in the same room?
Hey, Greg,
Yeah,
where are we in
right.
squares?
So ironically enough, we put all of this paneling. So I'm in my office, and we my wife and I spent all this time putting this paneling up because Eric and I were going to shoot together, and then we were like, man, too hard.
It
So
was
he's
too
at his house, I'm at my house, and it's
Yeah.
just so much. So now I just have a background,
And I
Yeah.
don't. I
and
have
you don't.
this Eagles blanket draped over a toy chest. I
Nice,
gotta do
dude.
something with my man cave here.
Ben, did you get did they hook you up with free Dells?
We
Like
had
you
to
get
negotiate it.
Really?
I'm
What?
gonna be honest. Back then we had to negotiate. This time they've been amazing, and I'm on
Yeah.
my second or third one because the first one didn't work too well, and then I got an upgrade. So they were awesome. I actually. For this one, I got they gave me a lot of what I asked for. Like I got a great monitor. I'm looking at you guys on this beautiful screen that's good for my eyes. And they've been really wonderful now. So I really want to shout. It's Dell Technologies. And they even said, they were like, we don't need a spokesperson. We're big now. And I was like, well, you've grown up and so have I. And I think that'd be pretty cool to tell people about. Like, there's a journey, I haven't seen any commercials for Dell. And they're like, well, they're everywhere. And I'm like, well, I don't see them. And maybe that's something that I could bring back. If they brought back the Karate Kid, like, hello. So they
I don't
they, to some of their credit, like some people came up with it freshly, not knowing, but I think like I put out the Spidey signals and they just finally answered. They're like, oh, maybe we should put them in the commercials. And I'm like, yes.
I
That's
don't
what
think
I've
I've
been
seen a
saying.
Dell
Yeah,
commercial
no, I
in a
just think it'd
minute.
make them a lot of money. That's why.
Yeah, right. It's a win-win for
Yeah,
everybody.
get those
Yeah.
stock options this time, or the
Yeah,
computer
right.
options, or the computer options this time.
Just get them up for a day at least. Come on.
Yeah.
Anything. We need anything today, guys.
Did I was on your wiki, and did I see that you auditioned for John Connor? Was
I
that
did.
yeah?
Yeah, I was actually up for a lot of and then yeah, John Connor for Terminator 3. I was in a final callback for that, and there was a role Kieran Culkin and I were up for a lot of the same roles back then, and
Oh wow.
and same thing with Macaulay Culkin. We ended up being up for the role in Party Monster at the
Okay.
same time, which might, you guys might remember. I don't know if it was a weird cult, like Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin were gay party goers, and it was based on the real, I forget his name, the huge club owner in the 90s in New York City, and he owned Limelight and all these big, his name's going to come to me, but huge party scene, kind of dark, weird film, and Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin are gay lovers, or
I
gay or
think I've
something. It's interesting. It's a real story.
I've never heard of it. I just Googled it. It's
It's a thing.
very definitely real. I've
Wow.
definitely
I
never
watched
seen
it
that.
again recently. It was not bad. It's
does it
like
hold up?
definitely an indie film, and I've
Yeah.
actually smoked weed with both of them at the same time in a room.
Oh,
Seth
awesome.
and Macaulay, and then Kieran and I got to know each other. I don't know if he'd consider me a friend. I had his number. I don't think he responded, but
that's
I
okay.
was like, congrats on the Oscar. He probably blocked me 20 years ago, but he's cool. And he's very, he was like that. He was real. And those guys were all really nice. Seth Green was one of the nicest people I've ever met too.
That's great to hear because
I've heard that. Like he's
amazing.
just like
because I love
a
his stuff.
cool dude. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. He was real.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel like that's like when we get to talk to individuals, like you and other people, like getting to talk to people when they're cool makes this so much easier than when people are just like dicks.
Yeah, because if they're not cool, then it's just not fun.
And we've only
No.
had that happen one time.
Yes.
Did you have fun with that person? Or you guys
No,
were,
but we
like
should have.
messaging each
We
other
should
back
have.
and forth? Like,
Oh,
"Gotta get this guy."
oh. Yes, after the fact.
Oh,
It's
after
food.
the fact,
Oh, we
but not
joke
during.
about it.
We joke about that on like every episode.
Yeah.
There's this.
In
All right,
fact,
so
we're gonna
there
play
was
that one back shortly.
there was somewhat of a stalkerish level of this guy,
Hmm.
and we always joke that like, oh well, the next guest that we do, it's just going to be him wearing a mask, like Scooby Doo style, rip the mask off, and it's just going to be him again. It would be fucking
Well,
terrifying.
And so we went through when we first started, like anyone who asked to come on, we were like, fuck yeah. We were still trying to find our identity and kind of just figure the whole thing out. So we would just let anyone on.
Hmm.
Well, then we were recording and our show is very unscripted. We just kind of roll with it. And
Click.
he was like, no, stop. Let's do it over again. And then he was like, Greg, you're not trying hard enough to promote my episode. I don't know. You're not putting enough effort into it. So I call up Eric and I'm fucking just mad. And I'm like, dude, like, we're number one, no one's really getting paid for this. We're just kind of working together. And, and he's saying, I'm not putting, and then he was like, you know what? I'm just done. I don't even air the episode. And that was really the
We said,
only,
okay.
yeah, that was the only time where it was like, yo, what the fuck?
Clearly, we need to start screening people. Yeah.
And then we did immediately.
Well, and so William Hung was like, William Hung we talk about a lot. He was one of the first guests that we had on, and that kind of helped us get other people. And yeah, it was just like, so then we made this like lobby where if we don't approach you, we like do like a 5-minute, let's just see if we vibe before we record for, an hour. And you get to know us. Well, and then this other individual, like Eric and I were in Delaware, and this guy was far away, and then he was like, move in right into Jersey. And it's like, yeah, now you're way too close.
Yeah, we were
for us.
concerned.
Yeah.
Still nothing yet. But if we both turn up dead, it's definitely going to be that guy.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
Well, we got the proof here.
Yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to put that out there. But okay, so but
Don't be a dick. Anything else?
Don't be a
know
dick
about this show?
yeah, if we end up
I
dead,
mean, I would like to add value to your listeners' lives in some way. Hopefully we have already with some entertainment, some real talk.
Most definitely.
oh yeah, this is good stuff. This is as good as it gets. So you did Orange is the New Black, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was the
Marvelous
other?
Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
Because you guys did such an awesome job putting that reel together. We got to shout it out. You got those too. That was
I
really
got
good.
those
Greg.
two, and I only got those two. I wanted to get more, but I think you uploaded a video on your YouTube with them, so it made when I pulled stuff, I just kind of. But I spent hours working on that promo. I was like, "This is going to be the best promo that I've done yet for someone."
It was awesome. I think that's the best promo anyone's ever done for me. So
well,
congratulations, bro. I saved it. I'm like, I'm going to repost that shit. That was great.
much appreciated because I
Yeah.
literally spent all day yesterday doing that shit.
I mean, your
but-
choice, but I really appreciate it. That was great.
yeah, of
I
course.
hope you
Yeah.
had fun and learned something.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I'm stoked. I was like, oh, yeah. Babe, look at this. This is like, I can't wait to be in this.
As excited as you were about it, Greg was very excited about it.
That's my
And
shit.
you've got the, like, you know, the t-shirt.
Oh
there.
yeah, this is
Oh,
this is the Daddies the podcast T-shirt. Wait, can I
Yeah.
turn around and do
So
that?
how did that become the logo? Like,
So the two skeletons, so I guess let's backpedal a little bit. So when Eric and I were getting started, we started this podcast about a year ago, and our name came because the first name we wanted was already used by like a Christian family fun podcast, and we didn't want to, you know.
Right. Oh, it was gold too.
It was
we
so
needed it. We
good.
needed it.
And
Dad Brothers is what we
Dad
wanted.
Brothers, the podcast, couldn't have it.
was it a Mormon? That sounds like a Mormon one that they took over.
You know what that does? Oh, what do they call? Because what are the ladies? The sister wives?
Sister wives,
Oh,
yeah.
I like Dad Brothers. That's fun.
Well, and so it was because like Eric was he was at my wedding and he was gonna fuck my mom. Like it was like almost gonna happen. And then I was like, if you married my mom and then I married your mom, we would be Dad Brothers.
Dad Brothers.
Wow.
Right.
So
But-
that's what we think.
And y'all aren't even from the South.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I'm the Southern one
Nope,
here.
right.
That's just how we
You
do
guys
things here in
just
Delaware.
came up with that, really.
Delaware,
All by
yeah,
yourselves.
Delaware's just wild.
Delaware's crazy. So then, you know, we Daddy's a podcast, and then I don't know why skeletons kind of.
Yeah, I think it was just Jenna.
Yeah, so we went to my wife and we were like, "Hey, we need a logo." Like, I don't know how to do graphic design shit. She said, "Okay." So she worked on it, and then for whatever reason, like those skeletons just stuck, and like that just kind of became us. And you know,
Right on.
and then Eric's wearing a very limited release T-shirt. So we started selling those shirts about 7-8 months ago. And then we pulled back and we're still trying to figure out the merch aspect side of things. But yeah, so there's really no like
No reason.
no real reason other than we just thought it
The
was
short
cool.
answer is
It's cool.
because we like
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Like I'll wear this to like concerts or out, and people
Yeah.
go, "Oh yeah, brother, right on."
It's fucking awesome.
And I
Yeah,
go-
it's great.
I go, "What are you?" Oh, right, because
Yeah.
the shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
listen to the podcast.
Well, it'd also be really fun just to anywhere you walk, people just go, yeah, right on.
It
you
is
know?
cool. It is fun.
I didn't like people yelling, dude, at that time in my life, but now I think it's amazing. I tell my friends, like, I recently fractured my collarbone snowboarding. I could not ride a board as a kid. I sucked. Now I tried to ride skateboard and I learned what was called like Mongo or something, where you like basically push with the wrong foot. You like stand on the back and push with the front foot. Anyway, it's really hard. And so I've tried to relearn. Then I found out snowboarding actually worked for me and I loved it. And I found my flow and I became a kid again. And then the very end of the season, I was like falling and I did this like sweet ninja tuck and roll, but I landed on my shoulder, the perfect angle. And I felt the crunch and I was like, and then I started crying and I was like, it's over. But it taught me to slow down. And there's a reason I was telling that story. Damn, and now it's totally gone.
Something about people yelling
Yes, thank
Dude.
you.
Yes.
There you go, Eric.
I
Someone's got
never.
it.
That's shocking. I'm the
Wow.
first
All
time all
right.
three of
Well,
us.
It
I'm
could have
sure.
just been gone and we would have moved on, but thank you. So so now I've had a couple friends go on these epic ski trips that I would have been on. So I tell them, in honor of me, I want you to go down the mountain, and when you go down as loud as you can, the whole run, I want you to go, dude. And they
It's a
all
shout.
did.
It's the battle cry.
It is. Some men's groups go like, oh, which is like this native thing. If you go to any like really serious men's groups, native thing. Oh, sorry. It's a native indigenous saying that acknowledges each other, and it's really beautiful. And
Okay.
there's a lot more depth to it. But for the sake of this conversation, we don't say that in Dude Nation. We say dude. As it reminds us to take each other less seriously, and also it's really fun, and it's not
Oh, I think that's what my
pretentious or
friends.
appropriated either.
Right. That's what my friends usually shout when they're going into the strip club.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
so dumb.
Secretly, Eric is one of those friends.
Oh, I'm the dude.
Yeah,
He's like,
Eric's
it's just
just the
me,
guy.
actually. It like cut to his friends, and it's just Eric and his
And it's just
friends
me
are
by
like,
myself, real
See you
sad,
later.
in the corner with a
Yeah.
brown paper bag, drink. Yeah,
I mean, that's usually how it goes, right? Strip clubs.
it's best way to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Alone, it's always weird when people go with friends because you're like, all right,
Hey.
this is a different episode. All right, let's
That
go
goes
back.
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, so I'm curious, did you get to, like, did they give you that line over at Dell, or was that you? Did you get to free ball it?
That's a really cool short story, Greg. Great question. Good for you. You get a gold star.
Thank you.
Greg.
Do I also get one?
Yeah. You get a Dell, and you get a
Yes.
Dell. Dude, you're all getting Dells. Dells for everybody.
Oh, shit.
Not responsible if anything happened to your computer or isn't working upon arrival, or the Amazon service fails to put it in a box.
They're going to throw that motherfucker right at your door.
Yeah. So they started writing for me, and it was like the third or fourth commercial was the first bigger one. They'd just gotten a new ad agency. We were shooting in Toronto, that one specifically. I was in the store with the mom, Mrs. Lindsay. So that's the first one where you see me interacting with the mom. People online like to call her Mrs. Robinson. And because they're like, is there like a thing between the Dell kid and the mom? Now you'll have to go watch the commercial.
Yeah.
So
okay, hold on.
the tagline at the end that they had written was "Mission Accomplished." And at one point, one of the writers, he was like a former semi-pro football player, is huge, and he would eat like 10 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, and we'd see it on set. And he was hilarious, and he was their new creative writer. And he was like, suddenly the what do they call it? The client, the advertising agency, or the Dell people are like, oh, hold on a second. We need to have a discussion. We're about to wrap, so that we think this is over. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. All right, let's do this. And they're going talking, and I'm like, okay, what is the client? And then the director comes over, and he's like, so Ben, they want you to try saying, dude, you're getting a Dell. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, to the director, it's just him and me. He's like, I know, just try it. Just go for it. It's just one to please, let's just please the client. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, dude, you're getting a Dell. Like, I made it really excited, like emphatic. I just went all the way, and they're like, nailed it. That's it. Cut. It's a wrap. We got it. And I was like, oh my God. And then that became the tagline. It really works. So good for them.
Wow.
And I saw your action figures posted. That's the one thing they never made for me. I was a little sad, but we had like a t-shirt. There's some dude wear and a dude hat, and even one other quick, like 1 minute story, like 10 years later in New York City on Halloween, I dressed as the dead Dell Dude, and I put on all my Dell wear, and I just put like black rings around my eyes, and I had like a Dell cardboard box, and I had like pulled it up and ripped it up into so it looked like a tombstone, and its head like here, like it was like Steven, the years that I had the Dell commercials, and then I was giving out free candy inside. and all, people be like, dude, but no one recognized me, which was hilarious. It was like, I think, kind of healing for me one night just to do that for myself.
You were disguised as the character that you were most known for.
Yes, I was.
That's Halloween for you.
That is
right?
Halloween for you.
In New York City.
Wow.
That's a whole nother world. If you've never experienced Halloween in New York City in the Village, it is one of the cities to go to Halloween for.
I never thought about that. Everybody goes to New York
Everybody
City
dresses up
for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but that's so rated.
Oh, I don't want to
get stuck and you can't pee, and everything's expensive. It's not as fun. People are in much better mood on Halloween.
Yeah, right. Like I feel like if I'm going for New Year's Eve, like you got to rock a diaper and you're just pissing and shitting.
Yeah, or like a catheter or whatever you need.
Yeah, sure, right.
You can just dehydrate yourself for a few days.
Good God. No Chipotle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, how long were you like the Dell Dude for? Until 2003, 2004?
Yeah. 2003 is when I got arrested, and then it made the headlines while I was still in jail, and then I got out, and it was over.
Just like
that. In fact, in case you guys have a visual, I keep this just for keepsake.
Is that the
Dude, you're getting a cell? Oh,
and that's basically like me walking out of the court. They don't have my mug shot, but this was like going, dude, you're getting a cell was like a long CNN headline news, the ticker at the bottom, like the Dell Dude arrested for marijuana charges, blah, blah. It was like, an 8th, and I just happened to, the delivery service was being followed by undercover cops, and I was in a kilt with no underwear. Because my friend and my Scottish girlfriend was visiting, and my friend on his birthday were like, we're going to be true Scotsmen and wear our kilts. And like true Scotsmen don't wear underwear. That's the joke. So I got arrested in a kilt with no underwear. This is like the best info that's not on the internet. And,
this is amazing.
It's so good.
My best friend is the son of like a criminal defense attorney, and he knows about prison. So he's like, oh shit, we got to go get him pants and underwear. And my girlfriend's like, what? He's like, we have to go get him pants and underwear now. And she's like, okay, good call. So he goes to the precinct, and he like explains to them like he's not, and they're like, what? Oh my God. Okay.
Don't say that too loud, but Big Bubba's in the bag.
Well, actually, because I was in a skirt, quote unquote, according to the police, they kept me in my own cell for a little while.
Oh, is that something?
Very nice of them. And then they just walked by and taunted me one by one like a animal in the zoo. Like, oh, it is the fucking Dell Dude. Where's your Dell now? Oh, yeah, it is him. And so I create a whole character around these police officers. And I did a play. It's you can see a one-man show. It gets really intense at one point, but it's called Dude, You're Going to Hell. And it's on YouTube. And it was sort of based on that. Or maybe it is Dude, You're Getting a Cell. Yeah, maybe it's Dude, You're Getting a Cell. We'll have to find it and Google it. But it was like 10 or plus years ago, and I never made it a full thing, but it was my story and kind of freeing myself from the prisoner of myself and all the self-sabotage and stuff I was going through, because I'd also lived through 9/11, like I said, and I had like undiagnosed PTSD, so I was self-medicating with drugs and alcohol, and unfortunately I don't remember half the people I got high with, but some of them I do remember were awesome. So that was cool.
Yeah, well, that I feel like that rolls in pretty well to the Dude Nation. It's all about like men's mental health. Is that right? Can you want to speak more on the Dude Nation?
Sure. Yeah. Well, this is a great thing. So Dude was a major source of shame for me in my life. I eventually got sober. I was just tired of being in pain and barely employable, and the Dell Dude, it's just weird. Like, it was just this thing that haunted me, and it was actually really nice to meet the Culkins, Macaulay Culkin, for that reason, because I really could relate to people like him. Britney Spears had just shaved her head and had a meltdown. Justin Bieber was having a hard time. Michael Phelps got arrested for cannabis. not arrested. He was fine. He just had his
Sure.
like stuff dropped temporarily as sponsorships. But this was a thing, and um it was just like really painful. And I think I had a lot of trauma, and I finally started dealing with it. And about it dawned on me at one point, I had this men's group. Well, I guess in sobriety, let me say briefly, in getting sober, I went to some 12 steps programs, and ended up going to a couple men's meetings. And I was like, this is fucking terrifying. And like, no, thank you. These guys are terrifying. But some of those guys ended up saving my life and being there for me in the most beautiful way, in ways my friends weren't. They taught me things that like I had some work to do around masculinity, being raised by a really sensitive mother and sensitive, openly gay father. I had a lot of difficulties with, I didn't trust some straight men, it turns out, even though I was one. And a lot of other stuff to work out and unpack at that age, dealing with trauma and being in school. And fame is really psychologically like mind altering. It's really abnormal for humans to be like sort of proselytized like that. And so I had this during the pandemic, and I was looking at being a counselor. I was teaching yoga and meditation, and my clients were starting to kind of treat me like their therapist. And I've had coaches, and I'd been doing coaching for like 5 or 10 years, just for fun on the side, to develop myself and my relationship, my business. And it just became clear that that's something I wanted to start offering. And after talking to my therapist, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a therapist. I don't want to listen to me all day with no potty breaks, or like me, have to sit in a chair. Like, I want to like make shit happen. And that's what I needed. I needed some people to hold me accountable and guide me. And out of that, I started a men's group. A coach challenged me to, and it was called the Lion's Den. And it was really successful. And then my best friend's like, bro, you got to change your brand. That's like the biggest sex store online. And, if you Google it, like, you're going to have a hard time. And eventually I posted one day, like, dude, you're getting well. And a coach and a friend of my life called me, and he was like, that's your brand. Like, that right there, that's your brand. That's your brand. You own that. You own that. Own it. And I was like, I don't know. Like, are you going to call something the dude something? Does anyone even know who I am anymore? Is it like
Feel
toxic
naughty.
masculinity now? I don't even know how it lands in the culture. Is it like just going to sound like a stoner cult? And, a lot of people, it's been like, yeah, it sounds like stoner cult, or yeah, it sounds like a bro thing, or yeah, that sounds like the new coming of the Klan, or whatever white supremacists think you want to say. But to answer your question, we're about healthy masculinity, promoting intergenerational relationships, mental health, and integrity and connection. I think men more than ever, I mean, humans in general, but really men, because I've been the only man in a lot of women's gatherings. Women have got support if they need it and want it, mostly in general. Men do not. I was just talking to someone today, a female therapist, saying, I don't understand why men aren't coming to these groups for cancer support and these other things. And I'm like, because they're not there. You got to create them. And then once they're there, men have to actually start to get the idea that they can ask for help. And that's going to take, we're talking about genetics, like that's going to take generations of programming. That might not even happen while we're alive. Hopefully it does. But so many of us been programmed, even subconsciously, by the world or our culture, that we have to carry the burden alone, and that makes us a man. And I am guilty of that all the time. I still have a hard time receiving help. It's such a natural, I can have my arm broken and still trying to do stuff. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm right here. Ask for help. I'm like, oh, right. I forget. Thank you. And my friends would come over and be like, sit down. I'm making you breakfast. Stop. Get out of the kitchen. Like, you need to rest. And so that's been my lesson, really, is how to receive. But I know men need support if I need it. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing CEOs commit suicide. I'm seeing young men go to incels and commit suicide. And then I'm seeing a bunch of men just lost and depressed and lonely. And I've got purpose and I experienced that. So I know that we need some support and we need to have some fun. We need to talk about some real stuff, but we also need to have a good time. I've had some deep talks today, guys. And tonight has been today wonderful to talk to you all and laugh. Like, just needed to laugh.
Yes.
And connect.
Humor is the best
and your
medicine.
hearts are really open. You're really easy to be with. And you create, I don't know really how or why, but maybe it's just I trust you, but you create a safe space. There's something that works about you guys. And I really appreciate even your listening now is beautiful. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
I feel like, I mean, with we appreciate that. I mean, it was when Eric and I first started this, like, we didn't know what we wanted, and then we were like, let's just like get people on that we want to talk to, you know, that want to talk to us and just kind of understand their why, who they are, but let's do it unscripted. We tried the scripted thing at first, and I would ask, you know, a 2-paragraph question, and then the response would be yes. And it's like, well, fuck, that was supposed to take up 20 minutes of time. So now I'm screwed because I only have 2 more of those. So then we wanted to do like, this is exactly what we wanted when we started bringing people on. And to be completely honest, like, I didn't know your name when I knew you were the Dell Dude, you know, but like, so when I messaged you, I looked you up and I did some
heard of
research
me,
on.
Greg?
I know.
How dare you?
No, I'm sorry.
Don't you
I'm
know who
sorry.
I am?
Well,
Hold on, let me
and it's
take
funny.
my
So
crown off real quick. Okay.
just
Let's talk.
disconnect. When I reach out to people,
Goodbye.
like 9 times out of 10, like, I expect them to not get back to me. So I was like, yeah, you're not gonna message me back, and you did. I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is gonna be so good. And I called Eric, and I'm like, dude, like, this is like, I'm so hype on this one. This is gonna be
Yes.
so
We
good.
both were.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. That means a lot. Well, I appreciate the algorithms because I'd already seen you guys, and I'm always looking for. First of all, it's really nice not to be the one hosting sometimes. And it's really nice to be with more than one person. And I look for people who are doing great things and making it accessible. And I think the one thing that all of us men can agree on is like most of the stuff out there for us sounds nice. And like we might refer a friend, but are we actually going to like, I'm still like, do I actually want to be in a men's group? Like I lead this like 4 times a week, but sometimes I'm like, do I enjoy these? What am I getting out of this? And which I think is an important question because, well, A, it's not all about me, but I do really make sure that I'm also being taken care of. I take care of myself too. So I need to be in places where I'm supported. And I think if I would, guess and really assert what most of us are really, we're smart and we consume so much media as a culture. Like young people do say and think they know more than us because they consume a lot. I understand that. There's wisdom that they don't know from life, but they can smell bullshit, and there's a lot of people getting really good though at being authentic, quote unquote, and like really well scripted and really well presented and super successful, but they're missing the heart of all of it. And I think there's something that it can be intellectually stimulating, but we need something that is so low bar accessible for us. It's like refreshing and like you're talking to a friend. And I think that's something you guys really provide. You do really well. And that's also what we do inside the Dude Nation. Like we are workshops or circles. We have something called the Dude Dojo, which is really the probably easiest point of entry for any man to come check out, like a weekly circle online. You can participate or just listen, and each month is a different topic. So in April, we're taking on emotional intelligence, and we ask ourselves like tough, challenging questions. Today was, what emotion are you avoiding, or do you avoid the most, and why? And out of that came the most profound, amazing stuff. And we have guys like 25 to 75 there. And so we get really incredible perspectives from people around the country, different ages, heart-centered. It's $50 a month. So that's like what, a few lattes or a carton, whatever. We try
like
to make
one
it like a
McDonald's meal.
no-brainer. Yeah.
One trip to McDonald's for the family.
Yeah, exactly. So we really are like, and then we do retreats regularly. and we've got one coming up in September, the Dude Deep Dive. And we have a lot of fun, but we do deep work and we go out in the woods and we build some stuff together and we talk and we sweat and we laugh and we play. And that's kind of what the Dude Nation is about. And also a resource to other, we're not the men's group, we are a men's group, but more of a resource. Like I have relationships with almost every prominent men's organization in North America. And I've actively nurtured that. And I'm one of the only people that call different organizations, be like, hey, why don't we talk together? Why don't we create some stuff together? So I also created Dude Con, which is our annual conference where we just talk about masculinity. So there's everyone from the most hardcore, like, don't be a pussy guys to, we had a trans drag queen masters speaker. They're a gay masculine theorist on like queer masculinity. And we had women speak and we had everyone in between. And then we talked about, you know, this is the range. This is masculinity. All of this is. So I think, you know, just some opportunities to be real and listen to each other too. And I'm really curious, like, you guys are being great listeners. Thanks for going with me. But I have a question. Like, I'm curious what, do your listeners ask questions? Are they reaching out like, hey, I'm dealing with this, or what do you guys think about this? Like, what do you think are some of the stuff your listeners are most dealing with today? Like, what are some of their, what do they come to you for? Or what are their pain points, would you say? I'm just curious.
It's tough.
And if
for-
you're
for
out
me to say,
there,
like,
tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clip that. Make that a post, right? Tell us here, because I don't know if they're reaching out right now to us about this stuff.
So I think when
and
we
that's
get
an interesting thing. I'm going to interrupt you for a second, Greg, just to say this. Eric, women will always respond. And I run a men's organization and women write me more than any man. And they may be listening, but it's like, it's interesting. We're not speaking up and forward. So that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, maybe we just have, we definitely have the least interactive of the sexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like when people are really like reaching out to us, like, no one has ever really come to us and like had like any like deep questions that they asked. It's really just been like, hey, I listen to you guys to just unwind and get away from the world for an hour.
Ben,
Because that's why
you mentioned something about a low bar. That's like my middle name. I set that bar pretty damn low, and we usually just make like fart jokes, and we talk about pretty much anything. But
video games. But for Eric and I, it's like Eric and I both work jobs. Like we have a full-time job, and this is a time once a week where we can just sit down. And we can sit down with just the two of us. We can bring other people on and just talk about things that we want to talk about. And we get an hour to do that. And, so sometimes I'll just have people like, hey, I you know how social media is. You always got to feed the fucking algorithm and you always got to post, yada, yada, yada. But our stuff that performs the best is the stuff where we are the most sincere and just being honest. And I think I posted something about, do you go over the fence or, through the gate or whatever? And like, for whatever reason,
something about
like,
your zipper, like peeing with your zipper down or opening your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that
like,
no
too.
one does that. Did you put the poll out?
I put the poll out, and apparently, so Ben,
I think I still do sometimes. I mean, it depends on the zipper as well, right?
Well, it
Probably.
depends. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of my pants don't have zippers anymore. It's just like,
well, right. And so like I was at work and my pants didn't have zippers, like a zipper. So I pulled my pants down because I was like, oh, I'm in a stall. Well, the door was fucking opened.
you're like a little kid peeing when you.
Yeah.
He had a shirt,
my
tucked
shirt
up like
Can we like normalize all the women listening right now are like, welcome to my fucking world. Like maybe we should just normalize all just peeing with our pants down.
Sure.
But that's what they envy about us, is that we don't have to pull our pants down. So
well, and
grass
so
is always
where Eric
greener?
and I work, the old CEO was anti stalls or anti urinals, only stalls. So no urinals in the men's restrooms, like at all, just a line of stalls, which is cool. But like I still don't sit down when I piss, but I will pull my pants all the way down.
Oh, that's
And I
a
posted
pull. I found out a lot of men actually sit when they piss. I didn't realize that. But some
So
do.
I do it at home. Like if I'm crawling out of
Interesting.
bed first thing in the morning, right? Got to get the morning piss
Oh,
out.
because you're really
I sit
tired.
down and I go, and I don't ever
But
nod
you
all the
don't
way
poop?
off. I don't poop in the morning. I don't poop first thing. Actually, my timer, I'm at like 8:30 in the morning, and then again at 4 o'clock
Okay.
in the
because
You
afternoon.
do have a
you
bowel
can't poop
movement in the
without peeing.
morning. Because I already
Very
heard that you
yes,
don't really sleep. I saw the sleep when you're dead. And I'm also
yes.
I'm a wellness consultant and I've done a lot of coaching in companies too. That's the first thing I look at is like, let's see how much sleep we're getting. And it's like 3,
Eric gets
4,
0.
6. And then it's like
Yeah,
how soon
I'll
you are to
just.
die. And you said really honestly, like it could put me in my grave, So yeah, that's
Yeah.
like,
Eric is really good for not getting hangovers and not sleeping and being able to function. Like
oh, he's
for me,
that
if I don't
guy.
get my good 8 hours, I need my nice CPAP sleep, or else I wake up and I'm a potato to the world.
Greg, you're really good
Yeah.
about getting your sleep,
I love it. Yeah.
Well, some people have
especially
to
CPAP sleep.
and take it
Yeah.
seriously. I mean, if you have CPAP sleep, then that is your health, right? That's like really,
Yeah. I mean, in theory, like if I don't use that, that might be the last time
you're like suffocating
Yes.
yourself slowly. I mean, really, that's my friend's like,
right,
oh
right.
yeah, my doctor tells me I die like 7 times a night. Basically, I stop breathing and I'm like,
Well, and
and I'm
and
like,
Gotta come
God,
back
that
with
does
this.
not sound good.
It's terrifying. And
and
honestly,
well,
Terrifying. If you're
we
the
had
friend
somebody
in
that
the
was
room with
close to
that
us.
friend, it's terrifying.
well, and so yeah, we're joking about it, but like someone who was close to Eric and I did die. Like he got intoxicated and went to sleep without it
Oh,
and never woke back up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's like it is like
oh my God, I'm
so
so
like if
sorry
you
Yeah,
have
to
we
like
could
hear
like
that
that.
where
joke about it, but it's like yeah, but I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens a lot.
That's the
So
thing. That's why I was
and
begging my
like
friend, please. It's not just hard to hear. Like you're actually like it's hard to hear because I can tell you're not getting the oxygen you need.
right.
well, so I used to do this thing where I would go to sleep
Well, don't
and
mind. It's funny. I guess this helps us
I would like
normalize. Sorry.
I would like
Just gotta laugh so
be
we don't cry.
Of
like
course.
straight down trying to sleep and I wouldn't use it and I would and I would have to get out of the bed and I don't even think I was maybe I just got married and my wife she was like what what are you good? And I was like, "Oh no, I'm fine. It's cool." And then but it used to make me have like really weird dreams. And I remember one time I shot up and I wasn't married at
Yes,
this point and I was
asphyxiating
like
yourself will give you crazy
well,
dreams.
so I woke up and I looked at Jen and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "It's fine, but we're all going to die. Good night." And she was like, "Wait, what? You can't just say that and then go to sleep."
Oh no.
And I was like, "Yeah,
Good
we're gonna
night.
die." All right, well, good night.
That was
And that
very
fucked her up for the rest of the night.
I was gonna
She was
say
like,
she's
"What is
up the
wrong with
rest
you?"
of the night and you're just passed out
that was
by her
Passed
prophetic.
out.
sleeping well.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. But
Oh,
but and then I went and I got my sleep study
Your poor
and
wife.
so we still
It
joke about
wasn't
that.
enough to
I
like
think we
hear that you're dying. Like,
we're gonna die. And I don't even remember what I was dreaming about and like why I went to that. But I'll tell you what, sleeping with a CPAP is the greatest fucking. I get the best night's sleep
I hear
ever.
if
It's
you can, it's
amazing.
great. Yeah, apparently, people go to auction bars and stuff. It's like just get a
Yeah,
CPAP machine.
I'm here for it. I even bought a portable CPAP so that way when I'm taking a nap downstairs, I can bust that baby out and I don't have to lug the one from the bedroom. It's
That's very
the
thoughtful
fucking
of you. I
yeah, right.
actually the first hardcore men's retreat I went on, I was newly sober, and my sober friend's like, read Way of the Superior Man, and then you're gonna come to my men's team, and then we're gonna go on this men's retreat. And it was really intense and really masculine. Like the epitome of what you think of men's. I mean, we played dodgeball and practice being like the bullies and the nerds, and then like we got hazed on purpose because it was one of the archetypes, and then we got like all this deep shit. We also got buried temporarily in some plastic. We could breathe, it was okay, but it was like a death ritual. I might try it again, but like not knowing what was happening If I had been really claustrophobic or something like that, I could have gotten out, but it was terrifying and freezing. And we were just like in these elements. And in hindsight, I'm like, I don't know. Like now I know why some people left. And, I'm like, there's probably better ways to do this.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
But I learned a lot, including like, there's some things that worked well. And it's like still really successful, but I understand why people are weary of men's groups now. And we're trying to be like a little bit of a modern answer to that, a little
Not
more
as
accessible.
intimidating, easier level of entry.
A little less, what is the, what do they do for your frats? Like the rush.
Like the hazing and
Yeah, a little less of that.
So, it's funny you say that. So there's this I mean it's a little bit different, but there's this Italian restaurant down at the beach here in Delaware, right? Very small shop. And you go in and you're eating dinner.
Well, what's the name of it?
Well, I'm not going to say the name of
Okay.
it because
Yeah, I'm trying to wonder
follow
who
up
it
with the
is.
next part.
Okay.
So it's an Italian place, but the singer is also the
like that
only
he's,
server.
like whispering, like just so
Like they're right behind him.
Yeah, she's right behind me. But instead of serving you, she puts on a full fucking concert. So we were there, and this other table, they got up and left, and she was like, "Oh, I guess they don't like Italian food." It's like, I think you didn't wait on them, so they probably wanted food, but you put on a fucking 10-hour set. So, I think like
Wait,
things
the
like that they
waitress
won't.
performs?
She's also the owner, so I guess she can do that.
Do whatever the
You
fuck
know,
she
it's
wants,
Weird.
right?
Well, that's
It's
challenging
bizarre.
if you're hungry.
It's a
and you need
bizarre
some
for
service.
some,
Was the food good?
mid.
Okay.
Now I'm kind of curious about this experience. I kind of want to go check
I'll
it
tell you
out
the name
now.
of the restaurant once we're not recording. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to blow anyone up like that.
I think that there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I
because
know.
if there's
I don't know,
anybody
I'm scary though.
not
She would
saying
come
it,
fuck me up. No,
Greg,
she
not
would come
saying
kill
that she
me.
doesn't know where you live, probably, but not saying it, like no one else is not going to go there because
Well,
you
if
said
you're-
that she sings, right?
I mean, if you're concerned about your safety, Greg, I
Yeah.
trust your intuition.
I'm scared. But you know what? You said bully, and I would be an SCD if you were Damon West, right?
Yes, I was. I was.
You've done the voice acting, right?
I would definitely get canceled for that today too. But apparently, I have a pretty big
That's what
fan
I was wondering.
base.
How you got that role?
Because I went in for one guy, and they were like, "Oh, your voice is a lot deeper. Could you try to read this guy?" And I just did, and they're like, "That's great." But I don't know if that happened today. That was like 20 years ago. But I still have young people be like, "No way, that's amazing." So,
I mean, bully is like people that love bully love fucking bully. Like that is their shit.
Apparently, it really. And I've done a bunch of games for them, but they have such intense do not disclose NDAs, and like they remind you every year not to talk about anything because the fans are like the gaming industry is way bigger than the film industry. It's $1 billion, and there's hackers and fans that if they try to put together what the game is, who's in it, and the characters before it comes out because it's worth a lot to have that knowledge. So they have to keep us in like really. And so half the times we make games, they probably come out years later and we don't even know what they are,
right?
Even though we're in them. So, but Bully was I did know. I remember that one specifically, and now looking back, I'm like, did I help create incels? Like that game was probably not the healthiest one for our young folks. Like, let's just beat the crap out of kids. But it's also, I think, cathartic if that happened to you, maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, you can live it. You can live it, but in the video game world.
Well, is the aim of the game to haze the kids or escape the bullies?
No, you are the bully.
You are the bully.
Yeah, no, you are.
So you can live out your bully dreams. Yeah,
Are
so
you
maybe
the
it was
bully
for
or are
kids.
you the one escaping the bully?
That game was for if you were a kid that got bullied. This gave you the opportunity to go like punish, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were punishing.
Doing the punishing.
Wait. So I guess you can't tell us if you are or are not in GTA 6 or have done anything for that.
I actually don't know.
Or
To be honest, I
Sure.
don't know if I am.
maybe.
I mean, I could be.
They'll just get you to record lines if you, yeah.
Well, I mean, we did, like, I did all the stop motion, or not stop motion, gosh, I forget what it's called. We're on a huge sound stage and we're wearing the suits with the balls all over us, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah, okay.
taking
Like
data
the tracking, sure.
real
yeah.
time, and they can turn, and then we can look up at the screen and see our, like, kind of the beginning of the characters they're playing with, and then they record like 1,000 different we do all these facial expressions, and they record micro expressions, and they put those all in the character. But now I feel like AI will just be like, bloop, there you go, and they don't need to use
Yep.
us anymore, and we don't have to go put on these weird suits. But that was a fun job. It was really fun. Like, we had
That's
fight
awesome.
choreography, and they had these huge, like, styrofoam horses and weird skeleton cars that all became on the game, like, built on. You could tell they could take that and turn it into anything. So it was really interesting. And there's 2 actors that were clearly the leads in the show, and they're like, yeah, this is our life now. We come here like every day and film this and get paid lots of money and eat really well. And it was interesting. But I picked up the cell phone and called my wife at one point, and they came over and they're like, what are you doing? Like, you can't be on the phone in here right now, like, at all.
But you can't even do that. Like, no, it's locked down.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
didn't
think
know
I
it
was
was-
on. Oh, I was on FaceTime. That's why.
Right. I guess that makes sense.
I
Not
don't
like-
know, with my wife.
But it's not like, I guess, like you said, like the fans and the hackers will do
I
anything
mean, it could be
to
on
get
with
just
anyone. You know.
Mhm.
So it was
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So Bully, I've done a few. Yeah, and it's a really. I think there's another Grand Theft Auto that it's apparently I was in. I
Yeah,
found
you
out
did the
years
Ballad
later.
of Gay Tony.
Yeah.
And
There's
Grand-
a
looks like Grand
race,
Theft Auto
a
5.
driver that I played. It was like an aggressive California, one of the guys on the road.
Dude, have you not like gone through and said, "Oh, I'm in this game. Let me play it until I find me"? Like you
I have
haven't like gone
not.
in. No, that sounds like that would be
Ah.
awesome. And you're just
It
the
would-
whole time you're just keeping an ear out, and it's like, was that me?
At
Did
the
I just
time they
swipe
came
my
out,
own?
at the time they came out, I was really far away from gaming. I was like deep in New York nightlife and fame, and I was being a rock star. Like, that seems like you'd have a video game console at that point. My roommates had a Wii. We played Rock Band a lot. That was about it.
Okay.
That's really fun.
I mean,
actually.
That
Rock
was
Band
really
is still
fun.
fire to this day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we had like the full band because there was like 5 of us. So we had the drum set, the mics, the guitars, and we switched instruments each song. It was really fun, actually.
Greg,
So does
actually,
everyone do that? Does everyone who play rock, like, does everyone switch instruments every song? Because I feel like
Think
that's
so.
that's
Only
what
if
we
you
would
have
do.
cool friends that are like
Yeah,
willing to, like, okay, I'll let you play drums for a song, but
because that's the best.
and they're
part.
mine again.
Yeah. The drums are the best.
They're really fun.
agreed. Greg, does
Right.
Jenna listen to every episode of the podcast?
No, and
Okay.
so
So don't
this
clip this,
motherfucker
but-
Eric will come over and it'll be like 1:00 in the morning. He'll be like, "Do you guys want to play Rock Band now?"
And
it's like,
she's
dude, like,
all about it.
Yeah.
But Greg wants to go the fuck to sleep. So he's like, God damn it, you motherfucker. You're going to make me stay up for another hour and play Rock Band. And then we'll just be playing and he'll fall asleep on the couch like this. Just play one without me.
That's great. I
Well,
thought you were
because
going to
we'll
be
be
like,
like a
he
30
just goes to bed and, me and his wife were just like rocking
we're
out.
just,
like,
we're totally
he
just
wakes up
rocking
at
out.
6 a.m. We're like,
Yeah, I know.
one more song. We got one more song left.
Well, yeah, and then I'll
We're on
wake
the
up and
tour
they'll be like,
now.
I'll wake up and they'll be like, "Go back to sleep," and then they won't even be out there playing Rock Band. I'm like, "What are you guys fucking doing?" You know,
You have nothing to worry about, Greg.
Yeah, just play
Like, all right.
Rock Band, Greg.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm going
I didn't
back
tell
to
you I'm
bed.
coming over tonight to play Rock Band too.
Yeah.
No, what I was
Oh.
going to say is that I'm pretty sure that Greg lost Rock Band on purpose, so I stopped doing that. You moved, and then we can't find it anymore.
Yeah, and I don't think Rock Band is like a thing anymore. You know, like I don't think that
Maybe
we have that.
Maybe after this episode, I'm like
Yeah.
actually really tempted to get a Wii because my wife and I are in a band, and I'm like, let's not play real instruments. Let's actually play the video game. I think I'm afraid we're gonna get really hooked because we've got like a movie projector now, and I could see us going really deep and being up all night and like it messing my week up a little bit. So
And then
I'm
Eric will
like,
come over to your house.
this is probably
Yeah,
why I've
sure.
never bought these games because I'm just like, I'm going to end up in a hole and it just,
Yeah,
don't know.
it can get pretty addicting.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, after we record our episodes, like, we will go and now we will game, like, that's
I
just
love that about you guys. That's awesome.
yeah.
Or do you have the? Oh well, you have your gaming headset on.
Yeah, I'm sitting
Eric's
exactly
ready
the
to
way.
go.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
All he
ready to
does is
go.
pull
I
this mic down and the controller up.
Exactly.
yeah, I'm literally
Come
gonna
on,
hit
let me just
stop
turn it.
and then go over there.
Hey, I don't know about you guys. I've been playing video games for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, he's already way ahead of us.
Oh, are we still recording? I thought this was just a hang.
Actually, that could work as a podcast or a video cast. Like
You know
Rock's
what?
funny
playing
that you
video
say that.
games with,
It is. We actually have been toying with it. We've been
Where
doing it. It's kind of like, hey, if we don't have a guest, we're just gonna do that on here and record our gameplay and talk. Turns out it's really difficult to like talk the way that we're talking right now and play video games at the same time. At least for me, I'm really
Especially-
simple.
Eric just he
Oh.
just shuts down and it's like,
I'm-
dude,
I'm locked
say
in,
something.
I'm
Like, we
locked
got to
in.
talk about something.
and I'm like here. I'm like locked in, like making stupid faces because I can't see myself, and I'll think about it and I'll go, oh yeah.
That's great.
How about
But that's what people will want to see is like to watch you. I mean, how literally isn't watching gaming like one of the most viral watched things now?
Oh yeah,
It sure is.
and
Like from
so
kids to adults. My friends are like, I can't get my kid off this gaming thing watching this guy, and he says the same stupid shit as this guy, and I'm like, no wonder.
Yeah. Actually, while we were doing this, my daughter texted me. She said, "What's my pin for Fortnite?" And my son's in there playing. I can hear him from like through the walls, just like playing, like, "Oh, get headshotted, bro!" And it's like so obnoxious, but I know that I was him, 15, 20 years ago, doing the same exact stuff.
I walked into my friend's kid's birthday party. It was a costume party, and I wore a banana costume, and I had no idea how big the banana guy is. But all these kids, aged 12 years old, stopped the entire party and started bowing to me. And the parents were like,
Really?
what the fuck? And they're
Yeah.
like, all hail Banana Man. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool party, guys. Like, I
Hey,
didn't know I was
sure.
that powerful.
They've
What's
accepted me as
next?
their leader.
Yeah, this is who I
Yeah.
am now.
I accept. Thank you.
That's hilarious.
We Eric and I dabbled in Fortnite for a little bit, and we would play with his son, and we were just getting fucking just spanked by a bunch of kids, and then they would just come over and like teabag you in the game, and it was like, yo, fuck this game.
Yeah.
Fucking doing this
Yeah.
shit
We
anymore.
moved on.
Yeah. Ben, real fast. So people wanting to learn about the Dude Nation and how to kind of find more info, where would they be able to kind of get linked up with you?
Why, Greg? I'm so happy you asked. It would be thedudenation.com. If you go to Dude Nation, it takes you nowhere because someone's bought it and they're not doing anything with it. And eventually they'll give it to us. But it's thedudenation.com. And our handle on the Instagram is _dude_nation. So I'm working on partnering with Dude Wipes and Dude Robes and the Dude stuff. It's really amazing how it's come back. I was like, oh, this word is relative. And it feels good to say, So I think every dude deserves support. Every dude deserves to have other guys in his life that care about him. It's really kind of nice when they're like not your best friends and you get to like drop in for, an hour each week and then be like, all right, see you next week. And it's what actually we were doing since the dawn of time that really worked. And then suddenly we're like, we're going to go be explorers and like have 2 dogs and a wife. And then like everyone's getting older after doing that and be like, oh no, that wasn't it. So we really just need each other. And I think this is a great place to do it. We're accessible. You could always book a conversation with me for free. I don't tell many people that, but you can do that on our site. And really, I believe everyone in giving everyone a chance to get some support. So no matter what you're dealing with, I can always promise you that I will leave you with value. And if I'm not the right, fit, or we're not, that we'll find the place that is. And the other amazing thing that we're just about to launch is Aiden, which is our new trademark 24/7 AI coaching assistant that's steeped in everything Dude Nation, mental health, Psychology Today, Harvard Health, gender bias, incels, father life. It can support you in personal and professional. It remembers nothing. So we have really incredible security on it. Really, like, we own it. We don't, it's not shared anywhere. And we're in testing phase now. But it's going to be a phone number that you can give a call to. And that way, if someone like me or someone else isn't available, that you're going to have someone that you can talk to that's like going to be hyper customized to your situation in a heartbeat. And he's already helped men in Gambia, in New York, in Canada. He's helped women. It's helped fathers. It's helped younger people. So I'm really testing it with a lot of different things, and I'm really excited to be able to share that. And then as an organization, we're going to be helping develop custom AI assistants for other people. So if this is something that you want in your life, it's really amazing how you can do it today. It's getting easier and easier. But I think in the gaming world, what I want to say is I've been interested in how to reach people who are already online, already connected in some way, but needing and wanting to go deeper. So I have this dream that we're going to have sponsorship from Meta, get VR goggles, and we're all going to be able to go deep. You could show up as a avatar, could have a fun conversation like this, but there might be a topic that takes you a little further, gives you a resource, and you could walk into that world and explore it, and it tests you, and you have a conversation. Suddenly you're in the Dude Dojo, and you're like, what do I do? And it's like, you could like have practice arguments and test your, resiliency skills and all kinds of fun stuff. So I've been thinking of how to make this like more game-like and accessible for us to like learn and have a good time. So if you guys have ideas for that, or someone who would want to sponsor us or invest in that, let us know.
Love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love a good VR headset.
Would you come play? Would you guys come hang out in the Dude world?
Up in the dojo, in the virtual
Up in
dojo.
The dojo, yeah.
You can catch
Absolutely.
Eric and I occasionally on our Meta's quest playing I can't even remember
Onward.
the name of the Onward.
It was Onward.
Which is
It
like
was a military
real life
simulation.
tax sim shooter, man. And it's cool. It'd be like, yo, Eric, throw me a magazine, and he'll toss one over, and I'll fucking drop it and then get lit up and die. But it's fucking fun. It's cool, man.
Yeah, there's
I gotta get one. Come play with you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
The porn. Chef's kiss.
I was gonna say I had a joke with my friend. I'm like, well, if they're all watching porn and porn's the problem, is they're suddenly like they're about to click on it. It's like, hey, dude, are you searching for porn instead of getting, trying to get off instead of like getting some love? Come check out the Dude Nation instead.
That would stop me in my tracks for sure.
Actually,
no offense.
That wouldn't. Nope. I would keep going, and then I would jump over.
But you'd have to watch it because it's a paid ad for like you have to wait
right.
12 seconds so you can watch.
There is no skip.
No,
damn it.
Oh my god.
Every time
we
you try to
will
skip it, it just repeats, and you're like, no, and then you start losing your erection, and it's just like, come
Look,
on,
Eric and I will be there ASAP.
That's my dream.
Oh my god.
But we will we'll link everything also in the YouTube video and on Instagram for all of our listeners to check you out.
Thanks, dude. Well, you guys,
Thank you.
I've had more fun with the two of you. Don't tell any of my friends, but this has been seriously, like, I had the longest day, and we'd already rescheduled this. I did, I own that, and I was, but like, man, this has been really fun. So
Yeah,
I want to
we appreciate you saying
encourage
that.
a little challenge. You can cut this into something, but if you're listening to this, what did you think? Like, dare to write anything. And like, what are you going to take from this? What are you going to remember? Let these guys know they pour their heart and soul out into this. And it's not just about me. Like, you're probably listening because of them. So thank you for listening. And just respond. So these guys are like, hello, hello, hello. So,
We're
let 'em
here.
know. They're here, or don't, and they'll just keep having the best time with or without you.
Yep.
But I think it's really nice to hear from people.